Thanks a lot once again, Dr. Ravichandran, and very good morning, afternoon, and evening to all, because I'm seeing in the participant list a lot of people joining from different corners of the globe. So welcome to this, and I consider it my opportunity and honor to be part of this session in which such esteemed people are there. Steve has given an excellent deep dive of the various aspects of analysis and outlook of the market, not only global market, but how it's going to be impacting India as well. In this maybe around 15 minutes or so, I'm going to be wrapping up more in context to Indian dairy outlook. And as Dr. Ravichandran also had mentioned in the beginning, for us in India, dairy is not just a produce, it's not just a business opportunity, but it is actually a way through which millions of people's life is getting transformed on everyday basis. So it has a very strong emotional stand rather than just the business strand of association. So, basically, we Indians, as we all know, a lot of Indians are there in this webinar. We are born optimists, and what could be a better time to be all the more optimism coming in us than this time when we are in the midst of getting the vaccine of COVID being available. Some more are coming. So all I can say that from consumer mindset perspective, this is a great positive moment where people are thinking positive. And why I'm highlighting this, because believe us, all of you would be witness to this. No time in past had such a long time when we had been in the time of uncertainty. Now you would have been feeling that, oh, the uncertainty is not yet over. Then when I'm saying that we had been in the time of uncertainty, yes, you're right. In fact, I can see that the initial reaction in the market was more a knee-jerk reaction. That was not the disruption. That was a knee-jerk reaction. And the actual disruption in the market is happening now. So what we are seeing all around us is the thing which is going to be the disruption which is there to stay. So in this context, how Indian dairy is having an outlook going forward, a couple of thoughts I'd like to share. And, we are a country of abundance. We have a lot in every respect, in geographical area, people, and everything, right? We are the largest producer of milk. Everybody knows that. Data says that we are going to be having more than 190 or 195 million metric ton of milk. We are the largest producer in pulse production. We are largest producer in the world, I would say, in millet production. We are second largest producer of rice. We are second largest producer of wheat. This having all this, and of course you can see that, for all good reasons, milk is considered in India as the largest agri produce. It's not any other produce, but milk is the largest agri produce. But having all these data in supporting to us, the fact of the matter is that there is a paradox. There is a paradox of all this data. The paradox says that we have a sizable number of women having anemic condition in their reproductive age. We have 14% undernourished. We have 38% children under 5 who are stunted. We have 21% children under 5 who suffer from wasting disease. And we have 73% Indians who are deficient in protein. Now that's really mind-boggling number. And I was more boggled in fact with the last number, that is 73% people in India are protein deficient. We are good in calorific value of the diet, but when it comes to the protein, we are deficient. And I need not highlight it, how important protein is in today's context, when on one side we're talking about increasing immunity, and the other side protein, how much important role it has to play in that. So considering this as a paradox, The other thing comes that, okay, we have a lot of people, 1.3 billion people all in our country, more than, anywhere else in the world except China. So if we look at it, as Steve was talking about balance, I would take the balance of protein in India. How much protein is required for all Indians? Because maximum of us are deficient in protein. So if we take 0.8 gram to 1 gram per kg body weight as per day requirement of protein, what does it translate to is that we need 25 to 30 million metric ton of protein to feed all of us in India in a year. Now, where from it is going to be coming? This is the protein balance sheet overall requirement. But where it is going to be coming from? Obviously, there are two sources, right? When it comes to the protein balance sheet for meeting the Indians' requirement, it's going to be one coming from plant source. But let's look at it plant source, because that's a common perception that the protein requirement of India is majorly met from the plant source. So I have counted the entire produce of wheat, entire produce of rice, and entire produce of pulses, and converted into the protein component which is coming out of it. It is yielding to around 16 million metric ton in a year. And that too, when I've counted entire produce, obviously entire produce is not being consumed directly, So obviously, hardly 50% of the protein requirement is coming from plant sources, and balance where it is coming from is the animal sources, which comprises of milk, poultry, egg, and fish, which is giving roughly around same quantity as it is coming from plant sources. Now, the point here is that look at it, how much is coming from protein? Protein coming is from milk. 25% of the total protein balance sheet is coming from milk, and milk contributes only 4% in the GDP of India. In the agricultural GDP, milk contributes roughly around 25-26%. I might be getting corrected by someone, in fact, on the exact veracity of the percentage, but it's around that. So what does it mean is the importance of milk, which is there in India for meeting the requirement, protein requirement, which actually is deficient in India. So as they say in market, there are two factors which plays very important role in the long-term sustainability of the market. Demand and supply, we all know. But the third one is the need also, whether the need is there or not. This illustrates that how important is the need of milk in fulfilling the protein balance sheet. Now, having that as a clarity, now let's look at it, that what exactly are the opportunities in terms of going forward for India as far as this gap fulfillment with milk is considered. So if you consider the total milk production, we know 195 million metric ton is the milk production. Typically, we can put it into a form of pyramid, and pyramid is of organized on the top, and the bottom one is the backyard. So almost around 75 or 76% milk production is coming from backward or unorganized sector. Nothing new on this part. Everybody knows about that. The balance is coming from organized or semi-organized dairy farm. But let's look at it from the consumption perspective, people perspective. Incidentally, in India as of now, the urban and rural population pyramid, if you draw, it is going to be looking somewhere like this. But is it exactly going to be like this 20 years from now or 10, 15 years from now? No, it doesn't look like that. As you can see in the juxtaposed slide, that there is an inflection point, there is an equalization point, which is coming, which will say that there will be equal number of urban and rural population. Now, mind you please, this data is in fact of early last year. And I'm very sure that this equalization point is going to become earlier now. Because the rural-urban divide, which was shrinking is going to be all the more faster shrinking in coming time. There are many reasons of this. I don't want to get into that part. So it's very clear that rural and urban is going to be coming equal much earlier than 250, no doubt about it. But even if we take the face value of it, what it does say that the opportunity which is there in front of us for fulfilling the nutritional gap for the bottom of the pyramid people is going to be one of the very important need of all of us, because we need to fulfill the nutritional requirement of the people. That's a need part. That's one of the big opportunity. Now, how do we see that opportunity further? We can put it in a way that think about a part that if a farmer over here is producing milk, the data says that almost around 46% of the milk produced by the farmer is consumed by himself, or he sells it to nearby, neighbors. So it is causing any increase in the milk production over here will improve the nutritional status of him, his family, and also the economic prosperity for him, because he's selling it just next to his own places. That's one thing which will happen going forward when we are seeing that the milk production is going to be going up. It is how it is going to be impacting upon the people who are down below. The next one is that which I feel that it's a very important area, which perhaps on which much can be done on this, is the better usage of skimmed milk powder for fulfilling the nutritional gap. I'll give you an example. In India, we have midday meal program. It's not only related to India. Globally, many countries follow this program. In India, we have somewhere around 120 or 125 million beneficiaries of midday meal program every year. Now, what is the mandate of midday meal program is that 450 kilocalorie of energy per day and around 12 gram of protein per day for 200 days in a year. Now, think it from an angle that if you are fulfilling that requirement or even part of that requirement with skim milk powder, just take 20 gram of skim milk powder with somewhere around 36% of protein in it. It can give around 6-7 gram of quality protein, part of the total per day requirement, and that will translate to somewhere close to 500,000 million metric ton of skimmed milk powder being utilized over there, which means somewhere around 5 million metric ton of milk is going to be utilized for usage of skimmed milk powder for fulfilling this nutritional requirement of children. That's a huge number, because sometime back in October, when we had been having a couple of thousands of skimmed milk powder as a stock in different places, it had created a flutter. Thankfully, now the stock is much lesser. So this 500,000 ton of skimmed milk powder is a huge quantity. Now that's the opportunity for us for fulfilling the nutritional gap. The second opportunity is about the value-added opportunity. Now this again is a very interesting area, because when you look at value-added pyramid, it's just reverse. Urban area offers a huge opportunity in India to consume the value-added product, and we're glad to see that so many value-added products are coming in the market. There's a much more opportunity ahead on this line, because this 26% what you are seeing is the market which is going to be growing sizably in coming time, both in terms of production as well as in terms of collection. Both the side, it's going to be the biggest driver. Now, I'll summarize my points, in fact, in the 4 major trends, and then I will leave it, in fact, for some of the points to be covered in the question answer round. The first is that the organized milk collection, both by cooperative and private, is going to be seeing quite a sizably jump, and it's already happening. The data says, some data says that by 2023 or 24, this could reach to 50%. 50% of the total milk could be collected by an organized player. And the interesting part is that the milk collection by the private player is growing much faster than cooperative. And that also shows that there is an opportunity for both the places, in fact, to get caught up in terms of collection of milk. Now, the best part of this is that both cooperatives and private players are helping a lot in terms of improving the value chain of milk and milk product. Look at the flurry of products which has been launched in past 7, 8, 4, odd months. I was speaking to one of the, consumer behavior analysts. He was saying that this is the best time to introduce new product, to introduce new concept, because customers are having most optimistically open for trying out new products. So that is one thing which is being utilized very successfully by many cooperative and even the private players. This trend is going to get continued further. Second is that, as I said, we should look at the opportunity to address the malnutrition and imbalanced nutrition with milk and milk product. It is not just a social cause. Of course, it's a very important social cause, but in addition to that, there's a huge opportunity lying in this part. And we need to look at it, and we need to unlayer it, and we need to look at it how we take out the opportunity. Next one is that the driver actually is not, or rather I'll say should not be the production. How we are increasing from 195 to, as Niti Aayog says, that by 2024, or not 24, by 2032, we are going to be having almost 330 or 340 million metric ton. All that great, excellent drive. But I think more than that, we should focus on how do we go up on the value addition chain, and how do we make use of that opportunity in front of us for taking the value chain up. The last but very important, I'll say, in fact, this is the most important point before I wrap up this part, is that how do we help milk relevant before the consumer? We are seeing, in fact, Steve also touched upon that part, the what you call plant-based milk or alternate milk. That concept is coming up. I don't know how many of you would be knowing that 150 odd crore market is still existing now for alternate of milk. The data says that it's going to be almost around 500 crore by 2024. North India, as such, by nature, they are experimentative, is contributing almost 45% of alternate milk market. Now, these are the indications. I will say that it all is possible to be catered, or it is possible to address it by emphasizing the milk and milk as a wholesome food. How many of us are doing the marketing of milk in that way? That perhaps needs to get gathered up more and more. The good part again is that I'm seeing some of the value adders have started highlighting the milk marketing in a very interesting manner. Perhaps that needs more emphasis and more momentum. That's it from my side as of now, and I'll be open for question and answer session to take up a few other points. Over to you, Dr. Ravi.